are back for episode 2. We're going to continue this journey. You just saw a beautiful partial balayage with my dear friend Michaela. We're going to keep this tutorial short, sweet, and hopefully simple. We're going to focus just on bangs. I think it's vitally important that we as artists all talk about bangs, how to do them and what types there are, and what techniques are necessary. Obviously right now, thanks to TikTok and social media and Instagram, we do have a lot of options and variety as well as trends. I want to teach you foundational, simple techniques that can help you execute a wide variety of bangs. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is have a great consultation with our guest about what they desire and what you see suits them. Let's talk about the types of bangs that there are. The types of bangs that you often see are blunt, side swept, bottleneck, which is the new trend of a wolf cut, curtain bangs, which is a long framing, or pixie bangs, which are micro and short. We have textured side bangs, and we have center blunt with a soft layer. We have wispy and tiny. I think that's enough, right? Yeah? Okay, cool. Some of the things that you need to take into consideration when we talk about bangs is somebody's recessions, their density, hair texture, cowlicks, and face shape. Michaela has done bangs before, but it's been a while. Do you have any preferences or desires today?
I don't know the terminology as well, but
cool.
I always like face framing. And I loved when we did the kind of Bardot style where a little bit longer, a little bit wispy in the middle.
If you don't know who Brigitte Bardot is, type that into Google. She's an actress from the 60s and 50s. She had beautiful, voluptuous hair and these bangs that just cascaded over her eyes to create a little bit of mystery. I know the reference. Michaela is ready for that. So I'll show everyone out there how to execute a Brigitte Bardot bottleneck curtain bang. Are you ready? There's her face. It's important to look at your client. Right now I'm working with a camera, so take into consideration that you can use the mirror for eye contact, reading face shape and things like that. But I'm gonna come up to the front and just look at Michaela. She's got the most beautiful eyes in the entire world, as you can see. I think that prepping the hair is so important and product is everything. So really look at somebody's hairline. Michaela doesn't have a major cowlick here. Her hair, in fact, likes to fall forward, so we're in luck. I don't need a lot of product. I am gonna use Beachy Texture Spray by Authentic Beauty Concept. It's a great line that I carry at my salon. It's vegan, it smells very good, and this is gonna give just a little bit of grit at her root so that her hair stays forward when we style it. I'll show you exactly how. I don't need to say that, but when applying the Beachy Texture Spray, I'm gonna use my free hand to cover her face and just spritz 2 to 3 sprays at the root. That creates enough texture, so when we bring the hair forward, it will lay nicely. Michaela did just say that it smells very good, which is awesome, although she's covered right now. The other thing I wanted to say is that Amplify Mousse, which is another Authentic Beauty Concept product, is really useful for people that have a cowlick or hairline that is harder to deal with. Michaela, like I said, has an easy hairline, so we're just using Beachy Texture Spray. As you've seen in my previous videos, I'm going to use the fine teeth of my comb and my blow dryer pointing down and just comb and blow dry until the hair is dry so that I can prep the hair and start to cut. The last thing to think about is where they part their hair. If they part it on the side, you want to blow dry and prep to the side. Michaela parts in the middle, so this will be a really easy to execute. I hope you guys stay with me. It's so much fun. I'm excited. Let's blow dry now. So my first step every time when I'm cutting bangs is to find out how far back I want my framing to go before it hits the length of my guest's hair. If Michaela doesn't mind, would you turn and look at that direction? I'm going to put my comb at the top of the head where she parts and comb down to the front of the ear and take everything else to the back, and we can see that her framing isn't as long as her actual hair. Keep this in mind. If I was to chop this too far, her hair length would have to come up, or she'll have a mullet. I'm going to find the front tooth of my comb at her part and comb down once again, but this time at the top of her ear to see how long the hair is. You can see that it's quite a bit longer now and a little bit fuller. She doesn't reach her full length until she is at, I'd say, almost 1 finger behind the ear. So it's very open framing. This is just something that everyone as an artist should be aware of. Sometimes we want open framing, sometimes we want it very closed so the hair looks fuller in the front than the back. That's it. Let's move on. Now that we found our partings at the top of the ear, I'm going to cut the length of the bangs. Today we're doing a closed bottleneck bang, so I'm going to start with a very narrow triangle. If I want it to be very blunt, I can lower that section to 0 and we're going to get a blunt line. Today we want a soft line, so I'm going to raise the elevation and point cut. And now we have our very first piece. I think we can go a 1/4 inch shorter than that, but we've got a good starting point. It is typically better to start a little longer than it is to go very short to begin with and be stuck in a situation you don't want to be stuck in. So now I have a soft line only as wide as the bridge of her nose, and I can slowly start to bring that out. If we want to create a different shape, there's a U, but today we're going to create a very vertical piece of framing right here and layer it afterwards. I'm going to start at my shortest and work my way to my longest by flipping my shears. Close your eyes and relax. And we'll just get a small C-shaped section cut right out of that framing. Notice I don't necessarily need to continue down because the framing is already cut there. So I've just created a new shape by just working on the top half of her hair. Go ahead and look that way. You can really see where that is. Give me a little smile, hugging the shape of her cheek beautifully. Cool. Let's continue on the other side. So go ahead and look a little further my way. Beautiful. And this side's a bit easier for me because I'm left-handed, so I can just point my shear down. Very nice and steep. Go ahead and close your eyes and relax. Gently follow the shape of your guest's cheek. And connect your framing. And then push it away from the face and see where it starts to land. You can really see Michaela's cheekbones. This is a hair. That was a hair. That was a hair. Get the hairs. You got to see Michaela's cheekbones are going to start to come out now. It's nice and soft, and we're going to work on layers. Layers are about creating softness. In this case, it's about creating softness around the face. The best way to execute a layer is by pulling perpendicular from the shape of the skull. I'm going to start with my very first center triangle. It's the same piece I used when cutting the length. You have 3 options here. If you pull directly out from the front of the skull, you'll have a very small corner to cut, creating layers at the very end of your basic outline. If I hold the same section of hair at a 45-degree angle, I have a larger corner to cut. That's going to create even more layers at the edge of the basic outline. You can see them start to pop up here before they're round brushed. If you want maximum layers, you're gonna pull very straight up and down 90 degrees from the skull, and you'll have an even larger corner to cut. I've cut the majority of it already, and that's going to give the softest, pieciest piece of bang or fringe. That's kind of my go-to, but if somebody's hair density is really low, you want to be more conservative. I am now going to take pie-shaped partings using the center where she parts as my pivot point. I will pull 45 degrees for the sides and cut a nice chunk off. Get that corner and get it out of there without fear. Okay? What we're doing is softening the framing around her face so that her hair pulls away at the cheekbone easily. If you don't do this, it's an aesthetic decision and there's nothing wrong with it, but you're gonna collapse the hair forward a lot more because there's a blunt basic outline instead of a soft basic outline. I hope you all have fun trying this at home. It's a really easy way to soften a haircut. So we just cut the layers. You can see a soft, beautiful bang appearing at this point. The next step is to style. A round brush is necessary because when we fresh cut bangs, especially with a blunt line like I did, you do get a little bit of broom sticking in the hair, so it's nice to soften it. I will take the small triangle that we started with for my blow dry and round brush. I will be round brushing just the tips so that the cuticle closes. Great, so the key to success is to round brush that middle triangle down and then peel away from the face with the rest of the hair. So I'm going to put my brush behind the hair. I'm going to point my blow dryer toward her face, and I will even pull toward the face, which will create a C-shaped curve in the hair away from the face. It's called over-directing. When I'm done blow drying, I hold the brush for 3 extra seconds to lock in the shape. And then when I release it, you can see right away that Michaela is gonna get a beautiful bit of framing that peels right away from her jawline and cheekbone. Super cute. Let's do the other side. Well, everybody, the bangs are fresh. She looks great. We're gonna continue to style the rest of her cut and then head outside and show you some dynamic editorial footage of her new balayage and bangs. Thanks for joining us for both videos. Thank you, Michaela, for being in my life and participating in the crazy stuff I decided to do.
Always.
And let's have another drink and go outside and have some fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join my journey, have fun. Next week is going to be completely different. We're doing plants and vivariums, and I'm gonna teach you like Martha Stewart, I hope there's no trademark for that one, with my friend Riley, how to do some interior design. So stick with the Johnny Levi Studio for more adventures.